For new Tamagotchi fans or revisiting Tamagotchi fans, it can be quite overwhelming because there are so many devices on the market. In this video, I want to guide you in the jungle of all the devices, and I want to help you which device to choose when you are a beginner. I'm also going to help you with the gameplay so you can start your Tamagotchi adventure. Did you know that Tamagotchi, the word Tamagotchi, that is tamago, is Japanese for egg, and watch, so Tamagotchi. So that's how the word Tamagotchi, how they came up with the name for the devices. I made chapters for you guys because the video came out quite long, so you can skip to the chapter that fits you best, or you can watch the whole thing. Have fun! Okay, well, let's begin. At first, I want to tell you the difference about the Japanese versions of the Tamagotchis and the English versions. Mainly, they are the same, so the software is the same in both versions, but there are differences. So sometimes you see that there are different animations or different games in different versions. For the colors, a lot of in the beginning era of the colored version, there were no English versions of the color available. Of course, the names also of the different devices are sometimes a bit different because you have English names and Japanese names, and also you have different designs of the shells, so that is also a difference between the English and the Japanese versions of the Tamagotchis. I think for a beginner, except if you're from Japan, of course, but if you are not Japanese speaking, I would start with an English version Tamagotchi because that's more easy. For example, the menus are in English, but also like the food items and the items that you can buy, it is also translated to English, so then you better understand what kind of items and food you buy. For me, that's more fun because you understand more what is going on. What could be an argument to start with the Japanese versions, especially for the connection devices. In the English versions, second-hand, of course, of the vintage connections, they are really expensive. So but the Japanese versions of the connections, they are have much better prices on the second-hand market. So that could be an argument to start with the Japanese version because it's easier to buy in that sense. It is doable for the connection era, but still I think starting with the English devices is easier. So that would be my tip for beginners. Start with the English versions. Okay, then let's dive in the history of the Tamagotchi. It all started in 1969 in Japan, where the first Tamagotchi was released, and the worldwide release of the first generation was in 1979. So we call them the Gen 1 or 2 or the P1 and 2, and they look like this. So that is the first Tamagotchi where it all started with. In 2017 there was a re-release of the Gen 1 and 2 shells in Japan, and a year later there was a re-release worldwide of this version. So the next release is the Osuchi and the Mesuchi, and they were in 1979, and they were only released in Japan, not in the rest of the world. They were two devices that you can connect together on the top of the Tamagotchi. In 1979 the Angel released, and you have two versions. You have the Angel Gotch, that is the Japanese version, and you have the Tamagotchi Angel, so that is the English version. And This is a little bit different because you are not taking care of a pet, but the angel of a pet. So it's more about the afterlife. So that's different from this release. Then in 1989, the Tamagotchi Ocean was released, and the Japanese name is Umi the Haken. And so it has an English and a Japanese release. And after that, in 1998, you have Mori the Haken or the Morino, and it is more like a forest-themed Tamagotchi. And these three Tamagotchi types, so the Angel, the Ocean, and the Morino, they are they have a sound sensor. So they're inside the game. You can scare off predators, for example. So that is a new option in this device. And in the same year of where the Tamagotchi Ocean was released, they released another two types, the Debris Ruchi. Also in English is called the Devil Guard. It wasn't released in English, but it has an English name. There was an English app with the same gameplay, and the Santa Clauchi is released later on, so it's more like a Christmas themed device. That one is really rare. Devil Guard is also really rare, so really expensive devices. So if you can get your hands on one, then that would be pretty nice. So after that last release, there is a big gap until 2004 where the first connection is released. And of course a new feature on this connection is the connect part of the Tamagotchi. So that was in 2004, and in 2024, so 20 years later, they released the re-release of the connection, and to celebrate the 20 years. So it was the 20th anniversary of the connection. From the connection line from 2004 on, almost every year a new connection was released. So version 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and after that you get the Music Star. And after that, then the Tamago is released. And during that era, that connection era, also the first colors are released. I will talk about the colors in a moment. So the Tamago has elements combined from the Music Star, the Plus color, and the ID. It was also a bigger type of Tamagotchi. And the last one in the connection era, although you cannot connect with this really, is the Tamagotchi Friends. But as you can see, it's much bigger. So bigger, but also thicker. So bigger and thicker. I have one. I don't like it so much because the contrast is really bad. So playing with it is not very fun because you cannot see it very well. So and then in 2008 the first color Tamagotchi was released, and it took 10 years before the first color in English was released. So all the releases from 2008 till 2018 were all in Japanese, but it was in color. So it was the first full color LCD screen that was released in 2008. And there was the Plus color. That was the first one, and then you have a couple of releases: the ID, IDL, the Tamagotchi Peace, the for you, and then you have the Mix. That is the first one that you can mix generations, or like you can mix eyes and ears. In 2018, the first English color was released, and you have the Meets. It's all kind of the same device. You have the Meets, and that is released in Japan. You have the Tamagotchi On, that is the English one, and then you have also the Sum, and that is only released in Korea. But those three are like more or less the same, but different languages. Then in 2021, the Pix was released. And with the Pix is the first one that has a camera inside, and so that was a very new feature. In 2021 the Smart was released, so there was more like a watch, and after some years, so in 2023, the Uni came out, and that was the first Tamagotchi that has built-in Wi-Fi, so you can connect to other Tamagotchis through Wi-Fi. For the pigs, it's different. You can, because it has a camera, they use QR code to connect with other Tamagotchis. So that's pretty fun, because that way you can easily connect with other Tamagotchis worldwide, and the same of course for the Uni. Then you can also worldwide connect to each other. So that is a really new and very fun feature to connect with other Tamagotchi lovers all over the world. So that was mainly the history, like the big history of the Tamagotchi devices, but there is much more on the market. They also have released the Tamagotchi Minis, and the first one was in 2005, and the re-release of the Minis is in 2017, and this is a Mini. It's not only small in size, but also very small in software, so in that sense for me it was quite boring very quickly. So it's fun to have a Mini because it's cute, but to play with it's not so very good. Then in 2007 you have the Tamagotchi, that is a more adult oriented Tamagotchi, and in 2010 the first Nano was released, and in the all Nano line there are a lot of crossover with other franchises, for example with Pokemon. Now I'm talking about crossover. You have a lot of crossover devices, so it's with other franchises. For example, you have also the Tamagotchi Motra. That was a movie back then. You have the Good Tama. It's also had really cute characters, and a lot of collaborations with the Sanrio characters. Also, like in the color devices, you have also a couple of collaborations with the Sanrio characters, and I think the Sanrio characters really go really well with the Tamagotchi characters. So that is an overview of a lot of the devices from the Tamagotchis. There is a lot more, because you have I don't know how many different shell designs and colors, and within the crossovers you have several devices, and of course there are also knockoffs. So in that sense, I understand that it can, especially in the beginning, it can be really overwhelming. So I hope this overview can give you some knowledge over the devices that were released from the beginning, almost 30 years now. So that was the history. Let's go to see how the menu of the Tamagotchi works in general. So of course, a Tamagotchi is a virtual pet, so you have to take care of your virtual pet. You have to feed it, you have to clean it, you have to take care of it when they're sick, you have to take off the light when they go to sleep. And of course you can play games with the Tamagotchi to keep them happy and to earn Tamagotchi points, and with Tamagotchi points you can buy new food items and new items to play with. More or less all the devices are the same in that gameplay. Of course there are different games inside and small difference in between, but I think that if you understand the basic menu of the Tamagotchi, then you can play all the games. Earlier on I posted a video about the connection re-release, and in that video I will go over all the menus that are inside. So I think if you, after this video, then you can look at that video, and if you have seen that video, then you are good to go to start your Tamagotchi happiness. So now I want to give you some basic knowledge about taking care of your Tamagotchi, because also that can be in the beginning a little bit overwhelming. So let's start with the life cycle of the Tamagotchi. It all begins with an egg, of course, and the egg will hatch after the player has set the time of the Tamagotchi. And in some devices you can choose the egg color, and sometimes that also may differ the gameplay and what kind of characters you will get. After the baby, so after it's an egg, you of course start with baby stage, and in the baby stage you have it mainly is 1 hour, and in this hour you have to give it more care than the other stages. The hungry and happy meter will deplete much faster, and also instead of sleeping during the night, the baby will do some naps. So you have to take care of the baby the first hour very well. So you have to also pay attention to your Tamagotchi more than the other stages. So after more or less an hour, the baby will evolve in the child, so then or toddler stage, and it takes 24 to 72 hours, depend on which device you are playing. After that time, then the teenager will evolve, and it also takes 24 to 72 hours, depending on the device you are playing. And during this stage, the care is really important in what kind of adult, what kind of character you will get during the adult stage. So after the teenage stage, you will get the adult stage, and in some devices after the adult stage you can get the senior stage. During the adult stage, it is of course also the stage where you can get married with other characters, and then you get an egg again, and then you will start the whole life cycle will start over. So something about care mistakes. These are very important and determine what kind of character the adult stage will be of the Tamagotchi. And the care mistakes are counted when the Tamagotchi is crying for help, but you didn't react. And most of the times you have 15 minutes to react, and they can cry for help when the happy meter or the hungry meter is empty, and also when you did not put the light off when the Tamagotchi has gone to sleep. For the connections, the care mistakes are divided into a physical and a mental care mistakes. And for the physical care mistakes is when you miss a call, when you have a empty hungry meter, when you miss a scolding call, and if you don't care for your Tamagotchi when it's sick. And the mental care mistakes are when you miss a call when there is an empty happy meter, when you miss a praising call, and when you leave the light on after the Tamagotchi went to sleep. I was talking about missing a call when for praising and scolding. Sometimes in a connection, the Tamagotchi can cry for help, but the meters are full and they are not sick and the light is not off. So then you have to praise or time out your Tamagotchi, and that will fill up the training meter. I don't think it has any consequences how much training it has, but I'm not completely sure. And the last thing that I want to tell you that is important for the gameplay is the Gotchi points. You can earn Gotchi points mainly through playing games, and with the Gotchi points you can buy other items to play with and other food items. There are some other ways to get Gotchi points, but I think that is then we go too much into the rabbit hole. So that is mainly how the gameplay works. So the source of information that you can use to learn more about Tamagotchis is of course YouTube. There are a lot of creators out there that make nice videos about Tamagotchis. There is a nice subreddit on just Tamagotchis, also there is also a good wiki page where there is a lot of information about Tamagotchi. So make sure to check those out. And then, which one should you take when you are a beginner in the Tamagotchi world? Which device should you begin with? I think the re-release of the Connection is a nice device to start with. If you want an easier Tamagotchi, then you can go for the Gen 1 or Gen 2 of the re-releases. They are also very nice to easy to buy. If you do not like pixels, very much, then I think then like the latest color releases, you can pick. Like the Pixel has a really nice style. The Uni you can try, that are really nice devices. Very soon the Paradise will release. But I think for a beginner, maybe you should wait after more experienced players have played the Paradise, so then you can learn from their experiences. So yeah, I would start with the Connection, or with the first or second generation of the older models. So in conclusion of this whole video, I think Tamagotchis are really cute but also very addictive hobby. Or maybe it's more a lifestyle. Have fun, and please let me know which device was the first one for you down below. I'm really curious which one you played first. Bye, thanks for watching.